What's going on, everybody? Cam K here with you on GeForce TV. Welcome into ONTrack Weekly. It's officially the last show before the racing season starts this Saturday. Man, we made it through. Another off season has come and gone, and tonight we finally get to talk that about racing that's happening this upcoming weekend. Flamborough Speedway will open up the asphalt racing community this weekend. They've got a opening card with bone stocks or pure stocks, mini stocks, the Canadian Vintage Modified, Steel City Super Stocks, and the Grisdale Showdown late models. Things looking really good. Look for some communication from Flamborough Speedway, and we'll potentially put their roster, updated roster, out at some point this weekend. We'll start off our show talking the Steel City Super Stocks series with John Morrison, and then we've got Spencer Riddell from the Pure Stocks, Blaze Shaw from the Mini Stocks, and then a double guest with Andrea Lusk and Cameron McGlashan. We'll hear what they're going to do this year, and then we'll wrap it up with mini stock racer Mike Thompson, who was out at the track testing this past weekend. So we'll hear from him how that test went and how things are looking for the Klotz Auto Repair mini stock division out at Flamborough Speed. But why don't we start the show off with a good buddy of mine from Jomo Media, and he is the media man for a couple of different racing divisions in 2026. And he joins me now. This is a little weird for him because he's normally on the other side of the microphone, but he's joining as a guest, and he's joining in times that are very busy for the Morrison household with a new baby on the way. So I imagine he's getting all ramped up and ready to go in charge of the Steel City Superstocks media. So John,
Yes, sir.
I'm assuming you got lots of stuff on the go as we get ready
Absolutely.
for race number 1 this weekend, bud.
Exactly. This weekend we finally hit back the racetrack for actual competition racing. We're excited over here at the Steel City Superstock Series. And, we got a great driver lineup that's already shaping up to be a really, really, you're going to see battles week in and week out. Full time from Justin Collison, Lane Zardo, Cole Burrows, Colton Everingham, Sean Chenoweth to be announced shortly as well. You know, there's going to be from top to bottom. There's going to be great action all throughout the field.
And it was one of those things that this was introduced a couple years ago, actually, not as Steel City, but the initial work from Justin Collison was to bring this division back to Flamborough Speedway. It had been a part of it for several seasons, and then unfortunately it had fallen on tough times. Let's learn a little bit more about the Steel City this year. How many races are you guys looking at, and what are we gonna? Are you guys do you guys do heats, qualifying? What is the procedure for you guys?
Yeah, so this year we have 5 race nights, essentially one race night a month.
Okay.
May we go start off May 2nd, then we go June 20th, July 11th, August 15th, and September 19th. Uh, all of them are all single features except for the August 15th, which we're actually going to be running a twin 30 lap. But when it is a single feature night, it's bringing it back to kind of like how I prefer racing to be done. You got qualifying, and then we actually do a dice roll to invert the field. So
Okay.
the cool part about that is that not only are the people at the track going to be able to see it, but you're also going to be seeing it live right on the Steel City Superstock page. So we're going to be bringing behind the scenes coverage so that the fan is closer to even if you're not at the track, you can see what's going on. So it's kind of cool. Um, but when we do have that double feature night, we're going to do pill draw for the first
Okay.
feature and then invert for the second one. So yeah, it's
Do
it's
we know?
it's pretty cool.
Do we know what the lengths for regular night race nights are?
Yeah, you know what the cool part is they're all kind of different.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
So May 2nd, we're going to run a 35 lap feature.
35 lap. Okay.
June 20th, we are going to run another 35 laps. July 11th, because that's also the Dayco race, we're
Mm-hmm.
going to run 50 laps.
Okay.
Like I said, August 15th, that's your Twin 30s. And then to cap off the year, we're going to run a 50 lap feature.
So the Dayco race that you guys are running in combination with the United Racing
Yes.
Series pays Dayco points and Steel City points.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So that we should be seeing a good amount of racers that are going to come and be a part of it. Obviously, you're participating in this division this year as some of the media. What do you guys still have in terms of announcements going on? Is it partnerships? Is it really just you're ready to get going this weekend?
I think there might be one or two
Yep.
announcements still to go. That's kind of Justin's department for the most part. But he's been working super hard behind the
Hmm.
scenes to make this deal happen. And we already have a couple great sponsors who have jumped on board with us this year. You got Collison Motorsports. They're throwing up $100 bonus to the highest finishing registered Steel City Superstock in all five events, for
Nice.
all of the Dayco events.
Oh wow. Okay.
So they're throwing an extra $100 bonus to anyone who's a full-time finishing, who's registered with the Steel City but competing in also all the Dayco races as
That's
well.
good incentive for people to go out and do both. Um, and you know what? That's one of those things is that I like that you guys do. You have five races. What's not going to, and I think that's one of the things that the Super Sox kind of have to work around is conflicts of
Yep.
schedule. This really does benefit. I don't know the other amount of other tracks that have super stocks. I mean, it's just Peterborough, I think, and then obviously Delaware. Delaware guys, they can come and run this every Saturday because it's on.
It doesn't conflict.
It doesn't conflict except for maybe the. I don't even know if the first one would. It might conflict.
Nope.
No.
Not
Oh yeah,
as
because they're running Friday, right? Next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So there's only one race that actually conflicts with it, and I think it's a Peterborough regular night.
yeah.
I
Okay.
think
Yeah, and I could see that because again, they try their best to not have any conflicts, but do what you
it
can do.
happens, right?
Yeah. What will we be seeing from you on your end from Steel City this year? I assume you're handling all of the social media and video, um,
Yep.
and I would assume you're going to be posting the point standings and all that fun jazz.
Absolutely. We're working on some cool little graphics behind the scenes so that way when the points do get updated, I'm still trying to work out a style
Yeah.
that works with, kind of the Steel City
Yeah.
Rumble, that Steel City Hamilton style. Like
Yeah.
I kind of want to make it look like that. But like you said, we're gonna bring photos, videos straight to the Facebook page. I'm gonna be running around. I'm gonna be talking to drivers. So if you're shy, you're gonna hate me because I will put a camera. Or I'll put a camera in front of your face. I'll put a
Yeah.
microphone up to you, and I'll start asking questions. And whether or not you speak, that's up to you. But I'm gonna try my best to that we can actually get into and talk to all the drivers and get to know them a little bit more. But like top three post race interviews, we're gonna get them hopefully live stream straight to the Facebook page. Um, Obviously, I'm gonna do my little reels and stuff like that, and just help put more content out for the division. So that way, we got just over a month between the races. Got to find some stuff to fill that void as well.
Now you're busy as hell this weekend because you're doing two divisions, are you not? Are you also doing media for Canadian Vintage Modifieds this weekend?
So I don't do the race day stuff for the
Okay.
CVMs. I help out behind the scenes with them, but of course, you know me. I'm just gonna run myself ragged. It's a first
Yes.
race of the year, and as of right now, it's my only scheduled race until after Baby Morrison comes.
And that's where what it should be. So, awesome stuff. We will see you a lot this year at Flamborough Speedway. You're going to be continuing, actually, really all over Ontario because you are continuing as well. Jomo Media has not gone anywhere. You are doing day at the races, still on top of
Yep.
those other two responsibilities, and being a dad to a brand new baby as well. So he will be busy, folks, this year. John, how can people get involved with Steel City if they'd like to become a partner of it?
Yeah, if you want to join us over here at Steel City Superstocks as a marketing partner, we'd love to have you. You can reach out to Justin Collison on his personal Facebook page. You can reach out to myself and I'll help you get in touch with him. Or you can reach out to the Steel City Superstock page right here on Facebook. So
Perfect. I love it. John Morrison here on ONTrack Weekly. Thank you so much, buddy, for coming in. We'll have to have you back on to talk about Canadian Vintage Modifieds as well, and we'll talk about the day at the races. And we'll probably shoot the shit at some other point as well. But thank you so
Hey, whenever
much.
you want me, just let me know. I'm more than happy to fill in.
Well, you'll probably need a little bit of a break from baby after a while, so you'll be a little tired. So we'll get you to talk some more racing with us. But thank you so much for coming on, John.
Have a good night, man. We'll see you Saturday.
Yes, sounds great. Yes, so of course they changed everything in my updates, so everything's all moved around. But coming back on the show is Spencer Riddell, and Spencer is one of those guys I love having a chat because he doesn't have any issue telling me the truth about what's going on at the racetrack, and he's got himself two fancy looking pure stock slash mini stocks this year. And he was out testing out at Flamborough Speedway this past weekend, set for a, I don't really know yet. I think I've gone back and forth with him like 4 or 5 times as to whether or not this is a championship run or if it's just for fun or we'll just kind of see how it goes. But running the AC Delco throwback of all throwbacks. Now, this is officially, I believe, a Ron Hornaday before Clint Boyer. So don't be saying it's a Clint Boyer throwback. It is a Ron Hornaday throwback for this season. Now, first off, did it turn out as well as you were hoping, Spencer? I can't hear you, buddy. There you go.
Can you hear me now? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think it did.
Yeah.
Looking at it on the track, like Debbie Joe took some pictures and I was looking at them like I should have went a little bigger on the number, but it's so hard to tell because I didn't have any of my sponsor stickers on, right? So I was like, I don't want to like take spots away. So I was like, I'll just measure the dirt car number. And then it looks okay though. I like it. It was actually supposed to go on the mini stock last year. So
But you went with the Mark Martin
Martin.
instead.
Yeah.
I see. Well, I like both of them. How is it getting back to the track, bud? I know you've been very busy this off season. The championship last year, I mean, overall 6 wins in a season you can't really complain about, but there wasn't a lot of bad last year in your year. Can you take solace in that you had a great season? It just didn't work out in the end for the title.
Yeah, I mean, like any given night at Flamborough, if you have problems in the first feature, it most likely reflects your results in the second feature. And that's kind of what happened to us. Every time we got caught up in something, it was the first race. And then we either, just managed to get it together just to get out on track. And then you're kind of hanging out at the back and not making up any points. So you have a couple of those nights, you're basically out of the points at that point.
So officially then for this year, what is the plan for Spencer Riddell? Are you going to be running a majority of the races, all of the races at both Flamborough and Oshwegan, or a combination of both? What is the plan?
So our plan right now is full season at Oshwegan. We're going to be going for that. And then I am registering for Flamborough. However, as me and you have talked a lot, there's a lot going on in our lives right now. So we're gonna try to do the full season. I am gonna be missing one night, so I'm gonna be having a guest driver behind my wheel. So he's really pumped to hop in. He hasn't hopped in my car yet, so I'm excited to see what he does. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about not being there to watch, but so yeah, that's the plan right now. Oshwegan for sure, and Flamborough we're gonna register, and then we're gonna try. My sponsors basically they twisted my arm and almost said you're running both. So
I mean, that's obviously a great thing that you have such loyal supporters that want to see you back out there. And for a year that really was, for the first part of the year, it was you and Chase back and forth all year round. And then that pesky 38 came kind of out of nowhere. And you would say, I mean, we talk on the regular during the racing season, and actually really all the time. But you had mentioned it kind of week 6. You started saying, well, that 38, you got to watch out for him. I'm like, you're so far ahead. Well, so happens that, we did have to watch out for John in that. Brad Lavelle says I fit behind the wheel, Spencer. Of course, Brad. But all of a sudden, here he comes. pressure's on, and then you had a bad night, and that's kind of what that's all it takes now is one bad night. One of the things that we did discuss last year is that the amount of work that you guys have to put on a yearly basis is insane at Flamborough Speedway. Their pure stock division is like no other, stacked in terms of not just talent but races. This year they are giving you a bit of a break. I think they're down a couple, maybe 2 or 3 weeks compared to last year. Is it enough for you, or would you like to see even more?
I think it's a good start.
Okay.
How they laid out isn't really, I'm not a fan of.
Okay.
Like we raced for 2 weeks and then we're off for 3, which is fine for me because I can go race Merrittville. I can still race my Fridays, right? There's a couple nights that I wish we had off. Like I would have really loved to come to that Peterborough 50 lapper, but we're running a regular night that night, so it's. And if they were spread out amongst the year, I'd be a little happier. But I mean, hey, we got nights off, and a lot of people were saying, like a lot of the veterans, like you're never going to get nights off. It's been like this for years, and then hey, we finally got it. So I mean, I'm not going to complain. It helps my schedule. I don't want to do 67 features again. I'm out. That was tiring last year.
Just a tad. And you know what a lot of this comes down to, honestly, is the reality of it, which is the strengths of the other divisions were the issue. Is that you guys are being thrown out there because the other divisions were struggling. There looks to be a bigger resurgence in the late models. There's a good amount of late models out testing at Flamborough. Some haven't even been announced yet as participating at Flamborough Speedway this year. And so there's a good amount of contenders there, which is great to see. John, as we've talked before, has said, like, this is kind of the last kick of the can for these late model divisions. Steel City is also, like, Justin's put we just had John Morrison on from Steel City, and they're working hard to try and build that back up. And so that's kind of why you guys are always racing, was because they needed something to fill the card out. You did get a taste last year of doing heat races instead of the double features. Things have not changed this year. You are going to still do the double features. Are you okay with that for this year? Do you hope that they will eventually start doing heat races?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Financially too, I think heat races are better.
Yeah.
We go through, like, Flamborough's getting pretty abrasive on our tires. And almost everybody will attest to that. Yeah, they're just street tires. They don't cost like a set of late model tires and all that, but they still cost us money.
Yeah.
And if you're burning them up, like I know I burn up a tire almost every 2 weeks, and it's like I can keep it on, but I'm not going to be able to keep up with everybody else.
Yeah.
So I would like to see the heats come back. I think we'll have enough car count for that to even happen, and then just do your single feature. And I also think that'll tighten up the points battle, because if you even if you add points for your heats, if you're knocked out of the first feature and you can't run in the second feature, just ask Chase. Last year, both his wrecks were first feature, and it killed him. It killed his season. And I just think there's so much that can go wrong in that first feature. And having the one feature, I think it gives you a chance to not lose so much.
I think a very interesting kind of point to this kind of, we talked about this. We like to talk hypotheticals all the time with this division, but there's a very evident issue with the double features and the way that they set the lineup for the second feature. That is, and we're going to call it right out, because there's clearly been issues with sandbagging, people that are strategically placing themselves in the first feature so that they can start up better in the second feature. I don't know if they could consider what Steel City is doing. I don't know if championship series and divisions even consider a pill draw for a second feature, but is that something that is doable rather than it's going to automatically be set this way?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like we used to draw, like every week we used to draw for our first feature, and then they'd invert that finish for the second feature. So like this week, for instance, because it's opening night, that's what we're going to be doing. And then it'll go back to that invert, right? I think a lot of it, the issue was last year, is that a lot of the people that were sandbagging weren't involved in the points. So they didn't care if they finished 15th in the first feature. they're going to win the second one because it's already on their mind. They know. So I mean, there's no really way around that unless you get lapped, right? Like that's basically the only way we could stop it from happening is whoever's leading better giddy up and pass that guy.
I mean, it's one of those things that I absolutely love about Flamborough. I still will say it. The Pure Stock division is the highlight for me. I think you guys put on a damn good race, and frankly, there's nonstop action. Now, does it get a little chaos and stupid? It absolutely does. And there was a lot of stupid last year. I'm hoping you guys can have a lot of clean races this year, and let's limit the amount of crap and drama that was filtering through the pits last year across the board. We have enough of it. We don't need any more of that. Thank you so much, Spencer, for joining me tonight. Look forward to seeing you at the track this upcoming weekend, and best of luck for the prep for those couple of days. And let's go racing, bud.
Thanks. Sounds good. Thanks for having me on.
Always. Spencer Riddell here on ONTrack Weekly. And we go from the bone stocks over to the mini stocks, and we bring on Blaze Shaw, who's he's sideways right now, so we'll have to figure that out.
This way's better. I figured
there we go. There we go. It's better now. And he's one of the guys that's Blaze is one of the guys that is making a bit of a change for this year. Now, not a completely new change. Blaze, you have run at Flamborough, and you've done quite well at Flamborough Speedway in the mini stock division. Ultimately, this wasn't your choice because the track that you guys were running at is not operating this year. First off, let's just talk about that. How do you guys feel as somebody that's raced the last and been very successful at Sunset Speedway? What are your feelings heading into 26?
Yeah, I mean, it sucks that I'm not going to get to run there this year for sure. But also at the same time, just happy and grateful that we still have other places that we can go and play at. So, I'm sad that I don't get to race at Sunset at all, but at the end of the day, we still have to go racing. So you can't be too broken up about it.
It's absolutely true. Now, one of the things that I'm looking forward to this year is you running at Flamborough Speedway. Obviously, this car used to run at Flamborough Speedway a bit. We saw Sam used to run there, and she was quite successful in this 81, so no pressure, Blaze. But
that's where it started when it was first built for her. She ran there for I don't know how many years, but the car's definitely got lots of laps around that place.
Now, how about you, laps around this place? We've seen you participate in a couple of mini stock races offhand when you had off weeks at Sunset or rainouts, and you were really competitive at this track. I mean, it seems to suit you. And I'm just doing the comparables between you and, say, Jacob from Sunset as well, Sutcliffe, who was the champion, a double champion at Sunset. He had said he really struggles. So what is it that you're able to get around Flamborough better? Is it just the Shaw presence? Because all three of you guys do quite well there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Jake for sure, he struggled the first couple of times we went, but he figured it out last year and he got going really good.
I mean, he does have one win over you, so.
Yeah, he got a win the one night, and then I think he finished second at Frostfest. So he definitely figured it out this last year. Myself, I wouldn't say I'm really good there, honestly.
Oh, really?
Like we've had decent speed sometimes, but I've never went and been fully happy with the car. Like even the night we won last year, I was like, it was pretty good, but it still needs to be better. And I still, I wouldn't say I'm fully comfortable because the racing there is so much different than Sunset. It's almost backwards to what you have to do at Sunset. So it's a different mindset. And I can still make some decent speed there. But, I'm nowhere near as comfortable there as I am going around Sunset. But I'm not uncomfortable there either. I've done... we normally get a handful of races in, whether Sunset was off or Sunset got rained out, and we were able to go to Flamborough. And I've had some pretty good success at Frostfest too. The first 2 years I ran it, I got top fives in both of them. I think I was fifth in the first two. And then last year, unfortunately, I had a motor go. So weren't able to get one there, but that was okay. I figured my luck had run out on running good at that race anyway, so no big deal.
Now you're going to be heading back there for this year, starting this Saturday. As we would fully expect, it will be a partial season for you, I would assume. With the way APC runs, you're obviously a huge part of the Shaw Motorsports program. I assume you're still keeping up responsibilities there.
Yeah, for sure. So it'll basically just be whenever I don't have to be somewhere else to spot for Dale or crew chief for Dale or to help with even Jake's stuff or junior stuff. Any other time we can, we'll be at Flamborough racing.
Obviously, with it not being the familiar track that you've been at, testing would have been a very big importance. You were there this past weekend. How did everything go with the test?
Oh, it went as good as me and Dad could have hoped. We honestly, we were both going there really, really nervous because, like I said, I had a motor go at Frostfest, and my spare motor had went a couple weeks earlier. We had loaned it out to Wyatt, and the crankshaft broke in it when he was leading the race on first timers night.
Right.
But we had to rebuild both motors, and we have the one that's in the car back together. And when we ran it at the shop, one of the rings just didn't want a seat, and we were just filling the shop full of smoke and we ran it. So we were both really nervous, but I mean, it went out there in the first practice and slowly worked it up and everything got seated, and then we started digging from there. And yeah, like, it went really good. And by the end of the day, after that last session, like, that was the best I've ever felt at Flamborough, like car wise. There's also something to say, it's the first time in the car all year, so I might change my mind after a couple weeks in the car. But no, it went awesome. I couldn't have asked for a better day.
Now, you also have experience racing against some of those competitors that are out there. Sean Taylor, perfect example, somebody that visits quite often around the province. Mike Thompson, you've raced several times as well. There's not a lot known yet about the field of mini stocks that are going to be out there. It's one of those questionable things, unfortunately, in 2026 with the unknown of the future of Sunset. A lot of guys and gals going to Peterborough. You're one of the few that have decided, at least that have at least committed, that we know of, to Flamborough Speedway. But are we going to see you do a couple more events? Are we going to see you at the Delaware Mini Stock Invitational? I believe Sauble has a Mini Stock Invitational as well. And then, of course, ACC and Frostoberfest.
Yeah, so we'll definitely do Frostfest. I can say that for sure. Bar catastrophic events. Unfortunately, we'd love to do the Delaware and the Sauble race. But unfortunately, I've got a buddy that's getting married. He asked me to be the best man before either of the dates were released. So unfortunately, I can't make either of those races, which sucks, especially Sauble. I've only been able to run there once, and I think that was the first time I led a feature. And I ended up finishing third in a stout. That was kind of the night I looked at as like, that's when I really figured out driving race cars. So I am upset I can't do that one, but hopefully it's a good event. Lots of people show up. And then colors, it really depends on, like, I know Dale wants to go on again this year. He's had a ton of fun the past 2 years, but it all comes down to what we got for funding left at the end of the year. And it's also a matter of, because they weren't able, they're kind of split on the tire rule. I don't know that I want to have to buy a set of tires to show up there, just because what a set of tires costs, even if I was able to win, it doesn't cover the cost. So we'll see. Like, we might do it, but the only one I can say for sure is Frostfest.
We'll just have to get you in a late model then, Blaze. I mean, that won't be any cost, right?
Oh, no, everything's free.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. It's going to be cool to see Shaw Motorsports once again back in the APC series with Dale Shaw. You'll be out there helping spot for Dale, and then they'll also have. We don't know any confirmation. I don't believe Dale did say that Jake is going to run an APC race at all, but he did obviously confirm that Junior Farley will be back running the 72 full time. And I believe that car was the Eric Della Riva car that Jake has. So
Yeah.
we're not expecting to see Eric back this year, right?
Yeah, Eric, he had a baby this off season, so he's kind of taking a step back this year. They're looking at buying a house, and I know Dale did talk to him, and depending on how things go, he might want to do like a one-off night or something, or like a frost fest. But at the end of the day, real life has to come first. So
Absolutely.
He'll hopefully be back once he gets all that stuff figured out, and he's still going to come to the racetrack and help us when he can. I think he's going to come next weekend and to some APC shows and stuff. He hasn't given up on it. He's just focusing on being a dad and a husband. So yeah, it should still be a lot of fun this year. Like you said, Dale and Junior doing APC, and I'm going to have a blast watching Jake try and figure that thing out. I was already having fun today at practice, so it'll be good for sure.
It'll be a lot of fun for the Shaw Motorsports team this year. One of my favorite teams to follow, and I'm really excited to see you guys back out there. And of course, always love to see you out in the mini stock. It's a lot of fun seeing as many of those out there as we possibly can. So if you're not gonna be able to make it out there, let's just throw Sam back in the car. Honestly, she hasn't raced in a little bit, so let's get her back out there as well. But Blaze, we'll see you this weekend. I'm excited to see you back out there, and let's have some fun this year.
Absolutely. That's always the plan. If we're not having fun, why are we doing it?
Absolutely. Blaze Shaw here on ONTrack Weekly. Well, the next guests we're really excited about. We won't really know what the heck's going on with them, actually. We do know at least that Andrea Lusk has been announced as an Epic Raceware ambassador for 2026. So we'll talk with her. But we're hoping to hear from Cameron McGlashan, Cast Iron Cameron McGlashan, and Andrea Lusk, for racers that were, Cameron, former champion out at Sunset Speedway and regular runner in the mini stocks, and then Andrea came in very successful in the bone stocks and then moved into the mini stocks as well. And we're gonna have them both on join me right now on ONTrack Weekly, and I'm glad to have them on the show. It has been. Well, it's not been as long, actually, since I saw them at Motorama, which was always great. But doing their first appearance together on a show, it's Andrea Lusk and Cameron McGlashan. How are you guys doing tonight?
Good, how are you?
Well, you know what? I get to talk about racing, and we get to go to the racetrack for the first time in what feels, like forever. So I'm excited. First off, really glad to see that, Andrea, you got to be selected as the Epic Raceware, one of the Epic Raceware ambassadors for this year. Let's just talk a little bit about that. How did that all come to be?
Yeah, it's a really exciting opportunity for me this year. They reached out to me and said they wanted another female driver as an ambassador this year, and I think our goals really align with each other. So it's a really exciting partnership, and I'm really excited to work with them this year.
It's great to see that, of course, like we talked about as well. Anytime that I can see Ladies of the Oval getting some sort of press, it's good time. And not saying that it's not interesting hearing about what Cameron's got going on, but it is always interesting. Obviously, you two are guests that I really wanted to have on the show. Not just for what you guys are going to do this year, but let's talk about the reality of what is Sunset Speedway. You guys did something very admirable, and I don't know if a lot of people know that you guys were some people that submitted comments to council. They talked about it in the meeting that Carolyn broadcast. There's a lot of people that were quick to bitch and moan and complain that the track isn't going to run, and then there's those that actually did something. And you two were, along with Brooklyn as well, who submitted. Why did you guys feel the need to do that, and just talk about why Sunset deserves a little bit more of that appreciation?
I guess I'll go first. We understand that it's their land, it's their property, they own the track, and they can do whatever they want. We just kind of wanted to let everybody know like how we felt, like how that it was a special place, and obviously we don't have millions of dollars to go and buy it or save it or whatever, but we just wanted our voices to be heard, that it was a big part of our lives. Like if Sunset Speed was around, we probably wouldn't even know each other, to be honest. So like we have a lot to be thankful for from the track. We're grateful for everything that Brian and Sandra and all the owners did, but we just thought that council should know, like, if there's some way somehow to bring it back or save it or maybe prolong the inevitable, just to see if there's some hope of saving it some way. We just wanted our 2 cents to be heard, and at least that way we can go to bed at night knowing we tried, I guess, so that's how I feel anyways. So
yeah, I know a lot of people kind of feel the same way, so we just kind of wanted to speak up, and it might not do much, but like Cameron said, at least we tried.
It's one of those things, I think, that, sometimes all it takes is a fresh pair of eyes to bring something to the table. And as we said, like, I think what Sauble is proof that you can change council's mind on something being an annoyance by making it a little more attractive. And I think that venue is so usable. It can be an Innisfil Speedway, something that means something to the town, but also use it as an event center, something that is used for a concert venue or for many different things, not just making noise on a Saturday. It can be used for a lot of different things. And that's, it's so easy to just tear something down and put something up in its place and hope that makes money. The thing that we have to consider is it's still in a weird area. If people are interested in making it a storage facility, you still have to lug all your stuff there. So
yeah,
there's ways we can utilize it, and hopefully people will come in together and they'll look at it and say, hey, there's lots of options here. And especially it sounded like the city council was willing to listen, which is so good to hear. It might not mean anything right now, but Sauble Speedways Council listened, and they've got this big ass concert at the end of the year that's got its they're getting like really big names coming out to it. So I see that same type of use for the land there. I think it's perfect for it, and you can utilize that track for a lot of different things, especially when it comes to people like myself that need to learn how to drive. I think that there's uses for all of it. Now, speaking of driving, as we master the segues here, you guys obviously both participated at Sunset Speedway over the last couple of years, competing in the mini stock division. But we haven't really heard what either one of you guys are doing this year. And frankly, we didn't think that anything was going to happen. It was a little quiet following Sunset, and there's a lot of people we still don't know about, but there are plans, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think you would come on the show and tell me there's nothing. If you did, that would really suck. But
I'm retired.
Yeah, exactly. First off, I did want to ask Cameron, you posted something today. You put the car out to pasture. For those that don't know, you took, and I believe you've told me this was the hardest hit of your career. At the ACC. The car is a write-off, as you've posted. It's done. Yeah. First off, feelings of getting rid of a car that has become so successful and something that you rode to a lot of success. I imagine that doesn't feel great.
No, it's very bittersweet. Like I've raced Mustangs, I guess, for basically 10 years. And it's something I know really well. And like, we've put a lot of work into that car, like Andre's dad, Phil and Josh Bullen. We really tweaked on it and took it, from not very good in 2021 when I started to, winning races and contending for championships in 24. Last year, I feel like everybody kind of took a step and we were a little bit behind, which we knew how to kind of fix it, but it was kind of a winter thing, not really a mid-season thing. But I never wanted to go to colors because, like, I'm always worried I'm going to wreck. And I'm like, I don't like leaving home. Like, I love Sunset Speedway. I'm good there. I just stayed in my lane. Yeah. But I was like, hey, you know what? Like, what do I have to lose? And I guess I lost everything. But, the car is bent pretty bad. So we looked at it and, a lot of people said, oh, you could probably fix it or not. But I was like, I don't trust it'll ever be the same again. And it's a little bittersweet, but I think this could be a blessing in disguise because, I'm not saying Mustangs aren't the way to go anymore, but with Sunset gone, I think like a Honda front wheel drive might be the way to go. So we'll see, or front wheel drive of some kind anyways. So,
I mean, I want to know from you, you took a big hit. How are you feeling? Are you okay? Or any residual leftovers from the hit?
not too bad now. Like, I don't think in the moment I realized how bad it was. I don't think anybody did. Like
Okay.
as soon as I hit the wall the first time on the outside, I instantly got a pain in the top of my head. And like I've had concussions before, so I knew I was kind of in trouble. So on the next day, like I couldn't walk, I couldn't sit, I couldn't lay down. I was just like in pain. It felt like someone was like jamming their thumbs into my back for like probably a month.
Oh my
And
God.
I think I missed about a month's worth of work. And I probably had headaches almost every single day, like no joke, until the end of February. So I've been pretty good the last 2 months now, thankfully, which is part of why I waited so long to decide what I was going to do. Because, once this is supposed to be a hobby and for fun, so once it starts affecting your daily life, you got to really, take a look at if this is worth continuing or not, So, but feeling pretty good now. And I haven't had headaches for about 2 months. So hopefully that keeps up.
Andre, obviously seeing somebody that you care for going through that, do you want to see them go back in the race car, or was it always inevitable that he was going to?
Yeah.
It's always inevitable. You never think it's going to happen to you until it does.
Yeah.
So it's kind of nerve-wracking going back to Peterborough this year, just having everything that happened the last time we were there. But I told him he just needs to get back in the car and everything will be fine.
So that kind of brings everything open. Plan is to go to Peterborough. What are we looking at in terms of schedule?
I'll let you answer that.
I'm planning to race full time at Peterborough. I'm just going to take it one race at a time. I feel like kind of starting over at a new track. So just going to take it one race at a time and see how things go. The plan is to run full time, and hopefully if everything goes well, we might be able to venture out to some other tracks, but just getting used to things at Peterborough and seeing how it goes.
And that's in the mini stock or going back in the mini stock? You still have the bone stock, or is that gone?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, she's still got the bone stock too.
Yeah.
What about you, Cameron?
My plan wasn't really to run full time anywhere. So I bought Matt Young's car. It's not a big secret, I guess. I bought it.
Well, it kind of was.
Yeah, it kind of was. But by the time I got to Toronto after I picked it up in Hamilton, everybody kind of knew. So, I looked at a few cars this winter, and like I didn't really want to race full time if my car didn't get wrecked. I just wanted to come out and get your fix and race whenever you want.
Yep.
And we looked at a few cars, but like everything kind of needed work and stuff like that. And like my last car, it took me a few years and a lot of work to get there. So I said to Andre, I said, why are we messing around? I said, let's just go buy the best car we can that gives me the best chance to win today. And in my opinion, that was Matt Young's car because like he's done a lot of winning the last few years, right?
Just a little bit.
Yeah. So we bought his car and picked it up. And if she's racing full time at Peterborough, I'll probably be there quite a bit, or maybe full time myself too.
Okay.
I'm 100% doing the Delaware Invitational as long as the car is running, because that's a track I really want to try.
Damn right you are.
I think I'm going to go to Sauble that weekend too, because
Nice.
I want to support Spencer Lewis now that he's in charge up there.
Yep.
And I did hear a little rumor, may or may not be from him, that if he gets a good showing of mini stocks at that race, they may add us another time this year. So I'd like to go support that. And I was hoping to get to Flamborough the first 2 weeks here, but we had a few little snags, so we'll see. If we make it, we make it. If we don't, we don't. It's no big deal. I want to make sure Andre is ready to go first. But definitely go to Flamborough later in the year, even if I have to buy another set of tires because I know that they switch or whatever. It is what it is. But they race pretty much every week down there. Peterborough, I think, is only 11. So now that I bought Matt Young's car, like I didn't really want to race all the time, but if I got a good piece and it's going good and working good, we'll probably be at as many races as we can this summer. So
it's great to hear because you guys obviously are a huge presence in the mini stock division. I'm sorry, but I didn't hear Andrea is going to run Delaware. Is that going to happen or?
We're taking it one race at a time.
I told her she should. It's a huge track. I mean, you could
We'll
stay out
see.
of the way if you had to, or
We'll see
whatever,
how it
right?
goes.
So,
I mean, Sauble for sure. I think Sauble is a different story. Obviously, it's a track that's quite good for that, and I believe that is a 3-3 weekend. There is the Delaware mini stock. The Sunday is the mini stocks at Sauble, and then the Saturday I believe is Peterborough,
I think you're right, yes.
or the National Compact Tour at Flamborough. So it is a 3-3 mini stocks this year. So lots of opportunities to race mini stocks, which is great. I'll be honest with you guys. I have been doing the numbers because God knows that's what I like to do. And last year, if you were going to Peterborough in the mini stocks, you would have maybe 5 full-time cars, regular median of about 8. That's not the case for this year. The mini stock division at Peterborough is quite, now that I have to add you guys, it's quite full actually. I've got, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26 plus Cameron 27. Holy hell. Now that's not on the regular, but you guys obviously know what it's like to be in stacked divisions. So, do you know yet, or do you have a idea of someone that you might have to compete with? You've got Matt Young's car, which is extremely fast. Andrea's got her car, which is extremely fast. The names that are in the mini stock division out at Peterborough is not who you would regularly be racing. There's a couple that have come over from Sunset, Michael Robinson, Curtis Burnett, Coleridge. But there's no Jacob Sutcliffe this year, and there's no Ryder White. So who are we? Who do you think you're going to be having to fight off for wins?
I guess
Andrea?
I think, yeah,
is it going to be Andrea that you're going to have to fight for?
I hope she wins all 11 and waxes us. That would be a perfect season in my book. So
there you go.
I think what Mike Nelson won it last year, right?
He did. However, as of right now, Mike Nelson is not going to return.
Oh, really?
So,
I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting because I think there could almost be as many Sunset people there as there was Peterborough people last year. So now I'm, just because I bought Matt's car, I know it doesn't guarantee that I'm going to win or run well, but I think it'll be a better option for me at Peterborough. So
yeah.
Well, it's going to be interesting. There's probably going to be lots of great competition out there. I know. I think it's Rob Crick. He's getting a new car built by Ryan Babin, who I was actually talking to, who built my car. So he could be very good. I know he's won in there in the past and stuff. So I don't know. We're just gonna kind of go there and have some fun, and maybe we'll rub with some Peterborough guys for wins. Maybe we'll rub with some Sunset people for wins. But as long as we're there, I think it'll be good because I know Peterborough does a lot of good things. I think there's 3 fan appreciations for us this year, which would be kind of cool. So I'm trying to get a bunch of people to go because I'm like, you can literally go for free the first night. So it's a little bit farther to go. You're going to save money on the gate. So hopefully we can get a good crowd and good fields there this year. And
not only that, as far as I know, there's plans to do another sponsor night, which is great. Lakeside Mobile Tire Incorporated put that on last year. You also will have the Toonie nights, which are obviously all for the fan appreciation. So, you know what? It's going to be a place to be at. Flamborough, of course, you got to take the car at least once there. I mean, the friggin' car won every week with Matt in it. So I think he won a total of like 20 features, I think, last year, 22 overall. So in the entire year between bone stock and mini stock. So, I mean, no pressure at all there, Cam, but great news for both of you guys. I can't wait to see you guys both back at the track this year. And you know what? I'm glad to hear that you're doing all right, Cam, obviously, because that was tough to see. And hopefully things go well for you guys. And like I said, hopefully see you guys both for opening weekend in 2 weeks. Will you make it out there for practice next weekend?
We will be out there for sure. I will be for sure. Andre's car we got running, so the plan is to be out there. And I said to Andrea, maybe if we feel crazy and practice goes good, maybe I might go practice Peterborough and then try to run down to Flamborough and just run the race after. So just more than anything, I just kind of want to get some laps, even if I have to start scratch at Flamborough or something, as much as I see everybody going to Peterborough, I'd like to show a little love to Flamborough as well. I don't want to see everybody just go one way. I'd like to spread the love around a little bit. So plus any laps in a new car and a new discipline for me is only going to be a benefit, I think, heading into to whenever opening night at Peterborough is. So.
Well, you know what? We look forward to it in a couple of weeks out at Peterborough Speedway. Great news. Get you guys back racing, which is awesome. And we can't wait to see you out there. And thank you so much for coming on the show and chatting with me about it. It was an honor to have both of you guys here. And can't wait to see you at the track.
Yeah, thanks for having us. And we'll see you soon, hopefully.
That sounds... Oh, you'll see me. Don't worry. Thank you, Andrea and Cam.
Thanks, Cam.
Bye.
It's so great to see those guys back racing, especially when you do have a track that closes and it's questionable. And one of the guys actually to talk about the mini stock division out at Flamborough Speedway is the guy that's driving the number 16, a beautiful car. And he's put it up as the background for me as I'm talking about how good it is and how beautiful it is. It's Mike Thompson. Mike, thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, and he's got the product with him as well.
I mean, if you're gonna, you gotta at least, have a little bit while you're on here, right? So,
I mean, yes, you definitely do. What are we sampling tonight, Mike?
Well, this is the Frankie 2 Squirrels. You might have seen them on my car.
Just a little bit.
This is their red. So I figure, while I'm watching the hockey game, watching you, I might as well have a glass, right? So,
well, there we go. It better be me before the hockey game. But Mike, and I'm glad you said red too. That's the correct answer. Yeah. Well, you were back out there this past weekend. How is everything going with the car? Obviously, it was really nice to see cars out of the racetrack, and quite a lot of them actually at Flamborough. You've been there for a couple of years. I'm hoping that practice was actually a little more full than what you've seen in the past.
Yeah, I mean, there was quite a bit of cars, and especially with the mini stocks now with, the new tire rule and stuff like that. So it was interesting, because we're kind of starting from scratch this year, right? So it's kind of, so I put them on right away, just to kind of get used to them. And I know that like Sean and Blaze, they put their American racers on. I'm not sure if Chris Pendlebury had his on or not, but it's starting from scratch for all of us. So that was the goal, was to make sure that we weren't absolutely terrible. After about 3 sessions, we're like, yeah, we're kind of good. We kind of have a good notebooks to go into next week.
Well, and obviously that's the big thing, right? Is that you guys are racing this week, aren't you? Aren't you guys on the debut? Yeah. So you guys are racing Saturday. So you've got a short amount of time to kind of get those notes out there. That's why it's so important to get out and get some time. So the one thing that we're going to be focusing on is that you are not part-time this year. You are going for the title. A lot of pressure, but this car looks like it's ready to go. Not that last year's didn't. Beautiful as well. I don't know. I was saying to Ryan Dyson earlier, and I think I need to say it to you, is did you ever have a bad-looking race car? Because holy moly, man. Let's talk first about the partnership, because it is a brand new one for you. And it looks to be a full partnership all over the race car.
Yeah, no, we're really excited to, I think we talked about it at Motorama,
Yep.
You only knock on, the same auto shop doors and all that stuff, and you have to kind of go outside, what you would normally do. And when we were asked if, we would be willing to be a, full-time partner with them, we were completely excited. It's a new venture for them. It's a new business. They have other businesses, other wineries, but it was exciting for their new Alborgo estates to open and then have this opportunity. So I'm really excited, and I think they're pretty excited too.
It's one of those things that when People are looking for partnerships. A lot of the times they just look money first. And
Yeah.
that's the wrong mentality. You need to have something that you can promote. And literally what you're doing on the show right now is promoting. And that's exactly what we did. You guys were giving out tastings at
Yep.
Motorama. Something, again, a lot of the stuff appeals to the car guys. It appeals to the kids, but not a lot of stuff appeals to just everybody. All adults.
Right.
All adults can handle some wine. And the fact that you've got this new partnership, you in a mini stock division that you've really kind of commanded. Between you and Matt last year, you guys were the class of the field. It looks like though you're not going to be alone this year. You've got a couple more guys that are going to be out there running on the regular. Tyler Lewis is expected, to be on the regular once again. We're going to see Sean Taylor out there. Andrew Smith. I always mix the Smiths up at Flamborough, but so you've got a couple of them out there, which is great. What is it that you're looking forward to most this year? Obviously, the tire is one thing. You practiced on it, but is there question marks regarding the racing?
I really don't. I really don't know. I think that the great thing about it is eventually after the first 4 weeks, you're going to have to switch, right?
Okay.
So for the first 4 weeks, they've allowed to use up the inventory that you have,
Okay.
with a little bit of weight added
Mm-hmm.
to the car or some adjustments on the percentage of left side weight. But after 4 weeks, everybody has to switch over, right?
Okay.
So we said, we're going to do it right away.
Mm-hmm.
Try to build that notebook, and maybe, we gain on something that if someone maybe doesn't, get on the tire until 4 weeks in, maybe we're a little bit ahead of the game. So that's why we said, with Grisdale's and Adam, when I reached out to him and said, hey, when can we get those tires on the car? Glenn Hill's same thing. We've been talking a lot about it, and I said, I'm going to do it right away because I want to make sure that if this is the tire we're eventually going to be on, I want to build that notebook right away. So I think that's the biggest thing. As far as the racing, everyone's good, right? Everyone's competitive. My goal is always every single week. I know it's for fun, but it's a lot more fun when you're winning. So I mean,
Yep.
if I'm not winning, I'm sure I'll be driving myself crazy trying to figure out how to get better. And that's what we do, right? So I have a notebook already, and I want to make sure that we kind of get ahead of the game, right? So that's why we're doing it right away.
So week one obviously is one of those things that you kind of want to make sure no failures of any sort. You complete all the laps, run as much as you can up front, and if you can take the first and second victory of the season, obviously that's the best. For those that don't know, you guys do run double features when
Yeah.
you guys do race. Are we going to see you though go out and do the venturing like we're just talking to Andrea, Blaze, and Cameron all about whether they're going out to Delaware? You were a participant in that last year. It didn't work out in the end to do all three, but that option is there once again this year, except now you guys have the option to race with the National Compact Tour on the Saturday. Are you planning at doing that this year, or because it's a championship season, you might not be taking that risk?
What's funny is when we first started doing this, and every time I would say to my dad, I want to go run Sunset.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what happens if something happens to the car and then it ruins your chances to win the championship at Flamborough? I go, then we'll just fix it because anything can happen on a Saturday night at Flamborough anyway. So, I
Yep.
mean, you're not guaranteed that it's not going to happen. We've had huge wrecks where we've had to cut the entire clip off the car and had to rebuild it in an off week. So, I mean, it's not something we haven't done before. So, I mean, I'm not gonna worry about that kind of stuff. But we're gonna do the Delaware for sure.
Nice.
We're gonna do the compact touring race on the Saturday at Flamborough, and as much as I'd like to go to Salbo because I had
Yep.
so much fun there when we had the Invitational last time, I just don't think it's going to work for us.
Yep.
Because probably to run Delaware, we're going to have to change the rear gear in it to run there. I could run that same rear gear at Flamborough, but I would definitely have to make the switch back for Salvo, and I just don't think I'm going to have enough time for that.
As a mini stock racer, is this something that you think they should actually consider keeping, this 3-3 thing? Like it magically kind of happened last year because of rainouts, frankly.
Right.
And then this year it's actually happened again, but by choice. It's actually become part of a weekend now. As someone who is a part of this division, is this something that mini stock racers like, or would they prefer just to not have everything on the same weekend?
No, I mean, that was a blast, man. That
Yeah.
I mean, again, it just kind of happened organically, like where we were like, we knew we had, as soon as Delaware announced that they were having a mini stock invitational, we had that circled on the calendar right away. We're going there. And then, and then it was kind of like, well, we heard some other guys. I think Matt had said to me, "Hey, I'm going to do all three." And I went, well, okay, well, can we do all three? So, I checked with with management here at the house and said, "Hey, can we run all three?" She's like, "Yeah, we're in." So, book the hotels, let's go. So we ran all three. I thoroughly enjoyed it. If it wasn't for just the timing of it for me,
Yeah.
I mean, we ran the same gear all weekend for the 3-3 races, but to really be competitive at Sauble, I think I would have to make a change. And I don't think I have enough time to make
Yeah.
that changeover. But you never know. Maybe someone's got a car and they don't mind me racing their car on the Sunday and on the Sunday up there. I'd love to go up there and race. That was one of my favorite races when we raced up there a few years ago. So I'd love to go up there.
Well, it's obviously part of the racing season that we get to talk with such great racers, and you're one of them. Glad to have you back once again, not just with SNS, but back at Flamborough Speedway. Opening weekend this weekend, May 2nd. I believe it's not out yet, but normally you guys are 6:30 start, double features. I wonder if you guys are going to lead off the night, because I saw you guys do that a couple times last year, which I'm always for having mini stocks start my night off. That's always fun. And hopefully we get to see a lot more battles. I know you and Matt had some just amazing battles back and forth. There was a race that I was there last year, and you guys were side by side for, I want to say, like 14 laps straight. And then I can't remember what happened. And Carrie had told me, and I can't remember now what it was, but you got too high off of 4, and it killed your momentum. And I don't know if you hit the wall, but you were damn close to it.
We actually, we had won the first feature.
Yes.
And we were catching Matt, and we actually broke the sway bar link on the right front.
Oh,
okay. So that's what ended up happening is then when I came out of the corner, I had the wheel turn, but it wasn't really turning at all, and I was on the gas. So that's kind of what happened there. But luckily, that was one of my fixes in the off season. So I'm hoping we don't have any of those issues, because we had a parts failure 2 or 3 times last year. So I said, let's upgrade that. So I did that this year. So it worked out really well yesterday. So I'm hoping that that fixes those issues, so I don't have any mechanical sway bar end link failures this year.
Well, I look forward to it, buddy. We'll see you this weekend, Flamborough Speedway. Let's see if we can double down and take both mini stock races at Flamborough Speedway, and he'll have to celebrate with some wine instead of champagne at the end of the night.
All right.
Mike Thompson here on ONTrack Weekly. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Really excited to go back out to the racetrack this weekend. We'll be at Flamborough Speedway for the season opener on Saturday. Not sure if we'll be there for the full night, but we'll definitely be there for at least the opening features. Love that we're going to be out there, and you'll see me quite a bit at Flamborough Speedway and Peterborough this year. For all those that tuned in tonight, thank you. For all of our guests tonight, thank you so much. And we'll catch you next week here on ONTrack Weekly.